this button. And then click back to here. And I say, yo, what up?
Oh, hey, Tam.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, it's been a time.
It's been a time? I'll take
Hope
that
it's
as
going well for you.
exceptionally good. Never been better.
Always.
Sicklings, join me again for another deck doc. This month we're working on Chaos Dobby. Yeah, I think this deck is really cool. I think this deck's really, really rad. I'm excited to see what we come up with. So hit me with the elevator pitch. What's going on with this Dobby deck?
So this Dabi deck is not actually one that I am looking to play competitively. It's just a deck that I'm making for my fiance,
Okay.
who loves Dabi.
Okay.
And I wanted to give her a fairly simple deck that has 4 blue flame spirals in it.
Perfect.
Since I got 3 XRs of it.
Ooh, is it beautiful?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I got my XRs doubled up in my 2 cases, so that was very annoying.
Okay.
So I've got 60 XRs and I think 4 ofs.
Oh, fair.
And a 5 of.
Okay.
But I have 3 XSRs in 2 cases, so there's
Whoa, that's insane, actually. That's pretty good.
That's not about the deck, that's just my pulse.
No, be proud of it.
So yeah, it's a chaos charge deck because I felt like it worked the best with Blue Flame Spiral and it didn't really fit into Fire or what's the other symbol, Death.
Correct.
Yeah. So just a bunch of attacks that make it hard to make good decisions and then filling out chaos.
Man. So the very first thing that I'm seeing that I don't like is actually the Zero Gravity Lift. Zero Gravity Lift is really crazy good in every character except for Dobby. Because Confused exists. And it is so easy for you to have checked a Zero Gravity Lift, you use your once per game, you give it throw, and they look at you funny, very confused, and just strip throw from the card. I don't think Dobby's allowed to play throws outside of his kit. Sadly.
I think playing around the once per game is putting the character down too far. I think Zero Gravity Lift does plenty for you, and throwing a 9 damage throw at them or a 7 damage throw at them is plenty good enough.
Okay. That's
in
fair.
My opinion.
That's fair. All I was going to do is I just was going to replace it with some other decent high attack, right? The option of like a it's a little on the opposite end, right? Of instead of Zero Gravity Lift, playing something like Giant Ice Wall to open up so your +3 damage is hit earlier and then like the once per game happens to go is where I was going to go for it. But I mean if you like the Zero Gravity Lifts, then I'm in. Right? The big thing with Giant Ice Wall, though, is it's just not a charge, so it's tougher to combo with the pummel.
I think you've got a valid criticism of it, but
yeah.
I just don't think it's worth just not playing one of the best cards on Chaos.
That's fair, especially if this deck's not competitive, right? If it's just a fun kitchen table deck, I think leaving the Zero Gravity Lift in is fine. But for anybody at home, every time that I've ever fought a Dobby and I had it confused on board, they played Zero Gravity Lift, and I did not care about the once per game. I just didn't care about it. And which half of the threat of that once per game, or half of the threat of the character is the once per game, right? Like when are they going to pop that +8 throw? Do I have the resources to get rid of it? It just turns that not into a choice.
Also running 4x Jolt, so if you're confused is up and I'm trying to use my once per game, that's my fault.
That is fair. Yeah. That is a very good point. Maybe you just gotta play a little harder. I dig it. Foundation wise, because I just scrolled through all the attacks under Chaos, and the attacks that we're missing are just in your sideboard. So, Yep, you crushed it. You absolutely crushed it. The only other one that I could see is maybe Meteor. Like, given all your Meteors plus 3 damage seems kind of cool. But, I think Cheerful Uppercut's probably just a better.
I don't think there's enough ways to loop the Meteor Shower to make it worth being 8 damage instead of 5.
That's fair.
Like, obviously, it loops itself, but he's a 6-hand size with very little draw.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. They would just take the Cheerful Uppercut slots, but I think that Uppercut's just a better in this because it's just a bit faster, right? Faster on the zone, use that momentum a little bit cleaner. Right?
Great disruptive block.
Yeah, beautiful disruptive block. Yeah, I'm playing Ochako 2 with this card in it right now, and it's yucky. It's very rude. But yeah, I think attack wise, I think those are the only 2 suggestions that I could say, but I think that they would make the deck worse actually. Maybe make the deck different. Like Meteor's just like a more aggressive version of the Cheerful Uppercut, as long as you can find the strings. Like if you're zero gravityless, get to put in a lot of mileage with Meteor Showers. That tactic is
Meteor
just
Shower also changes out like half the foundations immediately.
It could, yeah. Just an option if she doesn't enjoy how this lineup works.
Mm-hmm.
Foundation wise, after they play an ability that reduces damage when attack, cancel it. Whoa, that's really cool. I actually really like Fighting Spirit in this deck. Huh. I have not found a deck I wanted to play Fighting Spirit in, but this is it.
It's just that random one-of for those situations where it matters.
Right.
And you're buffing damage on every attack, most likely, so...
Yeah, and it says that like you just like respond flip, and then you pop the once per game, right? And then now you're like training with Gunhead doesn't work, which is like a beautiful way to stop the stuff. The resets don't work. Like there's like this card feels really really good to build in him. I love that. That's very cool. Take a look. We're playing Zero Mall Day. That's okay. I'm gonna toss some stuff in the sideboard real quick. Hit me with the foundation lineup. What are you seeing here as like the best cards, the not best cards?
I mean, it's chaos, so it's kind of not great selection in my opinion.
That's true. That is true.
I think the only instant 4X is one of the only 4X you see there, which is Requesting Assistance.
Right.
Everything else is just a couple tech pieces here and there, what I felt like throwing in. Like, I like struggling with studies and training with Gunhead, but I don't feel like they're 4Xs because a +3 block just isn't the best.
I completely agree.
Infinite Potential is really just a 4X because of the +1 high block. The villain's defeated, you went over it in 2 decks ago, but it helps versus some decks and not versus others. Same with Short Circuit. First day of class, I played a little bit in Jiro. I didn't love it, but I needed low blocks, and there's a lot of 5 diffs in this deck that I want to play as my second attack, so it seemed like a great addition here.
Yeah.
Aiming for number 1 is that one of in any deck that can really fit it and isn't running 2 checks. But I don't think Chaos is married to very many of its cards and foundations.
Yeah, that's how I'm feeling. I only got to toss in a couple cards. I'm sure you know how I feel about Short Circuit as just a card. I almost just want it to be like a one of Wealthy and a one of Irrefutable instead. But these are way harder cards to play, right? How into the game is she? Like she playing with you just cause? If that's the case, then Short Circuit's probably just like the more usable card. But I think that
Short Circuit also goes up a lot in value with set 2 because there are more lines of play outside of charge spam.
Fair.
Wealthy Aspirations, I don't think there's a need for a bunch of momentum stacking in this deck.
True.
Though I do like the +1 low block.
+1 low block. It says that our uppercuts, like we spend 1 and we get 2, right? And it says that the remove cost we get to reuse Jolt, right? And so like that's really what it's for, is getting that. And we're not playing something along the lines of I want to say that I put it in. I did not. We're not playing Cool Student, which is, I think, our main momentum out. I
took Cool Student out last second to put in first day of class because needed more low blocks.
Fair. Yes.
I think Cool Student is cute, but at the same time, if Dobby's getting in 3-4 momentum against you, you better be dead.
Right. I just wanted to like poke twice, right? And if I ended up not using gravity lift, if the pokes weren't gravity lifts, right? If the pokes were jolts, there it's just like I get to play my 5 diffs later on in the chain, right? I get to play like 5 diff after 5 diff after 5 diff, like using this momentum to make myself a little bit easier to play. That was all. Yeah, I would if I were to do it, it would be like cut 1 training with Gunhead and maybe put in like an irrefutable. How much? What's our spam look like?
That's the other issue.
18, 19. I mean, 19's not bad with 32 cards. It's not bad. So like cutting 1 training for 1 more 2 diff is like not that big of a deal.
Not in a 6 hand size character. Like I had irrefutable and what was that other card we were just talking about?
Wealthy. Or Cool
Student. I had those in first draft. I just decided that they weren't the 2 diffs I wanted to put in.
Fair. The only other option is just like more tech, right? Encouraging is like neat, but once again, this is just like a different flavor of short circuit, and you like have to block with it. It makes your cheerful uppercuts like a little bit cleaner. And we could use more mid blocks? Question mark. I guess it's 3 mid, but like it's a mid.
I think the mid count is low, but a lot of the attacks have mid blocks, so if you're holding things, it's more likely to be a mid block.
The attacks have high blocks. We've got
am I misremembering?
Low on blue, mid, and then high.
I've been building a bunch of decks today, so
it's all
mix
good.
It up with others.
It's all good. Yeah, what's our count? 50 even? Are we married to this number? Not allowed to go above it?
Not really.
Okay.
55's fine.
55?
Go above 55.
I think that was the number I was shooting for. I was going to go 53. I think 1 encouraging, 1 irrefutable, and then 1 graceful. And then I would call it there. It's a little this teaches good defense. Graceful does, of like knowing when to hold this card and be like, I want to hold it for as late as possible. Okay, now I use it. Now I get to play it. It's a good tactic with cheerful uppercut because it's essentially just the +3 instantly. And it doesn't feel like it needs to be there. The only issue is that like we've added in 3 foundations and we've not added in any attack cards. So maybe toss cheerful up to the 4 of. And then like
it's already 18 cards, but there's not any real draw outside of double jab getting blocked. So
correct. Which, I mean, if it's an 8 damage move, it's probably going to get blocked.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it certainly incentivizes you to block it. Yeah. All in all, I think the things that I suggested are fine and great. But I like you've obviously put some real thought into what's going on with those choices, and the fact that like the cool student and the irrefutable started inside of the deck, like feels good. I don't think we need the cool student now, just because looking at our block counts, like our high blocks are the most, and then so like it's easy to cut. But I think like 1 more mid, 1 more low, and if we put in the 4th uppercut, it's just 1 more. It's an additional mid, so it'd be 21, 16, 16. Put us to 53.
I would be more into putting in ice slidings and graceful maneuvers, though.
Ice sliding.
that not the name of the card?
Ice. The Todoroki 2 card?
That's not even on our symbols.
Does not have chaos. It is a Todoroki 2 card.
I'm just confusing myself. I should just put it up to 4x confused.
Love that. Quality joke. That was amazing. Yeah, so it's really your choice.
I'd like to fit in, especially as a new player, because that Omni block helps fix a lot of those issues. But
let's look at block zones. What's one that we could clear? I mean, here's our 2 div slot. The other option is we just take out 1 infinite potential, which is lowering our spams.
I think I'd actually just move a villain's defeated to the sideboard to fit 1 in.
Love it. Assured at the 1. Refresh. Block zone. There it is. Still a 50. Crushed it. Quantity. What's our 1-of look like? Sure, defeated, spiting, aiming. Yeah, that's great. These are wonderful niche cards. Short circuit. Man, I really want to cut training down to a 2-of, just like a lot. But I think I just like I think it's like a 2 main board, 1 sideboard angle for like more throws, because like we already have double confused in as well, so like it's 4 pieces of throw hate essentially, and then just like we get to like open up a little bit more with.
I think there's enough ways that I'm messing with the checks myself in this deck that the top enhance is relevant, especially in a format where we're gonna have things like Stain running around. That
Fair.
It's not just for the throw hate. It's just random speed sometimes, especially following a double jab.
I mean, it's league then jab, right? Like those are the 2. Am I missing one?
Yeah, the first day of class.
First day. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So that second attack that's getting the +3 damage is getting another +1 or 2 speed.
1, 2, possibly 3 speed. Okay. Yeah, I don't mind that tactic. That's fine.
And Breaker's gonna be there more than ever, which makes me regret not playing at Fire, because I'm actually putting Endeavor's attack into a lot of decks right now.
The one that says if blocked, no breakers.
Yeah.
I have that in my All Might deck under all, because it's like.
But again, we're
weedy attack. It gets big.
We're trying to play 4x Blue Flame Spiral, so
yeah,
Chaos felt like the right answer.
It's a cool card. It's really, really cool. It's the main reason I want to play Ochako too. This thing accidentally being like 9 mid for 5. You just pick it up and just jam it down again. Like, pow.
Yeah. And then you get to destroy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sitting here struggling. I think those are really the only options that I have. I've ruined the sideboard of what you initially had, but you can just go back to none, and then there's your sideboard.
I mean, the sideboard was essentially doing what you're doing now, and I did 2x's for a reason on it.
Yeah, just make it simple.
Well, no, I can still find out what my original sideboard is because they're all 2x instead of 1x.
Huh. That's so intelligent. It's not like this isn't your first rodeo.
Oops.
Yeah, if I were to do anything, I think leaving it at 50 is totally chill. The other option is just like 3 more attacks, 1 more uppercut, and then ship it at 54. It just really depends on how you feel.
Oh, at this point, I'm just gonna ship it at some locals and see how that feels. See if it is just lacking entirely.
Fair.
This has a 6 hand size. Always could just not have enough attacks in a turn to kill anybody ever.
Yeah, that is very, very true. And I think of the 6 ancestors characters to do it, Dobby's probably it. The other option, right, is we just like these are the only charged punches we play. We play the rest as ranged moves, and we windmill slam in heat waves.
I don't have heat waves.
I
traded them away early into set 1 because I didn't want to play into that stuff.
That's fair. Yeah, man. I think this is a deck. I think this is it. I dig it. I dig it. Let me know how it does. Let me know if she enjoys it. I'd love to hear the journey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you being on. Let me shoot you the list, and we'll get you on your way, okay?
Thanks for the thoughts and suggestions.
Welcome, buddy. We'll see ya.